What's up guys, Jason here. In this video I'm going to be teaching you what I think are the 3 easiest ways to get mob heads in Minecraft Bedrock Edition. These methods work on all platforms of Minecraft Bedrock, whether you play on a phone, tablet, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, or PC. Using these methods, zombies will drop zombie heads, creepers will drop creeper heads, skeletons will drop skeleton skulls, and wither skeletons will drop wither skeleton skulls. By the way, wearing a zombie head, creeper head, or skeleton skull will decrease the distance that a specific mob can detect you from. For example, if I wear a creeper head, creepers will only be able to detect me from a closer distance. Mob heads can also be a cool thing to have as decoration. This first method of getting mob heads I'm going to be showing y'all is using a trident enchanted with channeling. For this method, all you'll need is one boat. You guys can use any type of boat that you want, one flint and steel, and finally one trident enchanted with channeling. By the way, the trident can have any level of durability. The first step is to wait for it to start thunderstorming. You guys can tell it's thunderstorming because it will be raining and the clouds will be dark. If you guys are in a biome that does not rain, you guys can tell it's thunderstorming because the clouds will be dark. Now try to find a creeper. Once you have found one, place down a boat. Then try to align yourself so that the creeper walks into the boat. The purpose of using a boat is to ensure the mobs stay in the right area. The next step is to take a trident enchanted with channeling, then throw it at the creeper. As you guys can see here, that should cause the creeper to get struck by lightning and become a charged creeper. Now pick up your trident. By the way, if you guys are using this method in a biome that does not rain, after throwing the trident, you'll need to immediately place down water. That is because the lightning will cause fire. You will now need to get the charged creeper into a boat. The reason why we need a charged creeper is because it will cause mob heads to drop. By the way, be careful not to get too close to the creeper for too long, otherwise it will explode. The next step is to lure a creeper, zombie, or skeleton over to the boat. I recommend that you stay within about 30 blocks of the charged creeper to ensure that it does not despawn. The mob that you lure over will be the mob that drops a mob head. When you're luring it over, try to align yourself so that it walks into the boat. As you guys can see there, I've gotten a zombie to get in the boat. Once you have the mob that you want in there, ignite the creeper using flint and steel. By running away after igniting the charged creeper, you should prevent yourself from taking a lot of damage. As you guys can see there, it will then explode and a mob head will get dropped. To get another mob head, just repeat that process. First find a creeper. As it is walking towards you, place down a boat. As you guys can see there, it should get in the boat. Now take a trident enchanted with channeling, then throw it at the creeper. It should then become a charged creeper. Now pick up your trident, then lure a skeleton, zombie, or creeper over to the boat. At this point, if you want to get more mob heads at a time, you guys can place that in another boat. Make sure you place it near the charged creeper. Now lure some other mobs over to that boat. By the way, if you have trouble getting them in, you can punch them. After you have the amount of mobs you want, use your flint and steel to ignite the charged creeper. As you can see here, that should cause mob heads to drop. From that explosion, it has 2 creeper heads and 1 zombie head because the charged creeper killed 2 creepers and 1 zombie. This next method to get mob heads I'm going to be showing you is using a lightning rod. For this method, all you'll need is 1 lightning rod, 1 flint and steel, and finally 1 boat. You guys can use any type of boat that you want. The first step is to go to an area that is thunderstorming. Now find a creeper. Once the creeper is walking towards you, place on a boat. After the creeper walks into the boat, place a lightning rod next to the boat. Now wait. After a while, a lightning should strike the lightning rod. As you guys can see here, lightning has struck the lightning rod. That should cause the creeper to become a charged creeper. The next step is to break the lightning rod. Now try to pick it up. Try to do this very fast so the creeper does not explode. The next step is to lure a creeper, zombie, or skeleton into the boat. You guys should try to stay within about 30 blocks of the charged creeper to prevent it from despawning. Once you have the mob that you want in the boat, ignite the charged creeper using a flint and steel. As you guys can see here, that should give you a mob head. This next easy method of getting mob heads I'm going to be showing y'all is using a mob head farm. This is the mob head farm. This chamber is for the charged creeper. This chamber over here is for the other mobs. Down here there's a collection system. Finally, in the back there's a rail system over here and a staircase over there. To use this farm, you first need to wait for it to start thunderstorming. You then need to lure a creeper over there. By the way, whenever you're luring a creeper over, make sure you don't get too close to it, otherwise it will explode. After the creeper is in there, you need to break this trapdoor. Now come down here. Now throw a trident enchanted with a channeling at the creeper. If the creeper does not become struck by lightning, throw a trident at the creeper again. As you guys can see there, it should then become struck by lightning and become a charged creeper. By the way, if you guys are using this farm in a dry bomb and the creeper catches on fire, you guys can place water over there. That should put out the fire. The next step is to lure a zombie, skeleton, or creeper over to that spot. By the way, whenever you guys do that, I recommend you stay within about 30 blocks of the charged creeper to prevent it from despawning. After having a mob in a minecart at that spot, push it up. Since I have a creeper over there, I'm going to need to push it and run away really fast. As you guys can see there, the creeper is now in that spot. Once you have a mob over there, break the minecart. You can then pick it up. If you're unable to pick it up, you can pick it up in the collections chest. You can now lure more mobs over there to get more mob heads. After you have the mobs that you want to get mob heads from over there, ignite the charged creeper using flint and steel. As you guys can see here, all the mob heads will then get funneled down into this collections chest. If you want to learn how to make this mob head farm step by step, I recommend you check out my mob head farm tutorial. A link to my mob head farm tutorial will be in the description. I am now going to tell you all how you guys can easily get wither skeleton skulls by using any of these three methods. To do that, you'll need to get a wither skeleton next to a charged creeper. You guys can either transport a charged creeper through another portal into the nether, or transport a wither skeleton through another portal into the overworld. Once you have those two mobs next to each other, you can ignite the creeper using flint and steel. As you guys can see here, that will give you a wither skeleton skull. By the way, the more wither skeletons that are killed by a charged creeper, the more wither skulls you'll get. I hope you all enjoyed learning these 3 easy methods of getting mob heads in Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions for what I should do in future videos. Please like, comment, subscribe, and check out my other Minecraft videos. I upload every day. Thanks for watching.